Lily Allen and David Harbour.
You make the bedroom just a place for couple activities.
Stop. What you'll see is she'll consistently look down and to the right during this section. She is showing disapproval. She does not like this about him.
She said, I saw the biggest person I'd ever seen in my life.
Pause. I've got to pause that. What I get from him is a broken little man. David Harbour and Millie Bobby Brown.
It's been so special to have him along the journey for me.
Stop there. You see her move her entire head to the right. She knows, don't tell the truth right now. Tell something else.
What was that?
Yeah, is that the behavior of somebody who is self-conscious, or is that the behavior of somebody who is, in fact, a narcissist?
You fall in love with an amazing man only to realize that he's not actually who you thought he was. Well, that's exactly what happened with Lily Allen and her husband, David Harbour. Now, I want to go back and see what signs did we miss. So today, Mr. CIA spy, you're going to help us spot the signs that your partner may be lying, cheating, manipulating you, or a narcissist. So let's play the clip.
Oh, God. What the hell are you doing here? I mean, last time I was single and I was living on the Lower East Side, I have a family now, kids. I mean, this is so embarrassing. You look good, though. Come on in. This is our kitchen.
Our plain English kitchen.
When I first met Lily Allen, we first went on a date. At one point you did say to me that you always wanted a plain English kitchen.
That would be quite bold on a first date, to be like, hi, nice to meet you. By the way, plain English is the name of the kitchen.
I liked it. I kind of liked it. I was like, all right.
All right, stop. I just want to establish everything seems lovely right now.
That is not what I would establish right now.
Oh my God, go on.
So if we actually rewind all the way back to the beginning when the camera person first walks into the house, there's two things that catch my attention right away. So first is Lily has a hard time maintaining eye contact, not just face to face with her husband, but even looking at his body. So he's behaving in a way she doesn't approve of. We're very focused on him because he's the one that's center stage. But you can see her laughter and you can see her kind of shyness in the background. She has her arms crossed. She's turned sideways to him. She's not showing signs of approval of his sense of humor. She's showing signs of awkwardness of his sense of humor. Now, if we jump to the scene in the kitchen, you'll see the same thing. He's got closed posture. His hands are crossed. He's leaning back against the stove. She's got her arms crossed and her legs crossed. And there's this distance between the two of them. There's space between us, there's disagreement between us, but I'm not going to get hostile because there's a camera in the room.
Question, how do you know that's the reason, not just they're uncomfortable because cameras are in their house?
These are two trained performers. They're not uncomfortable because of cameras in the house.
True. That's so good. All right, let's keep playing.
By the way, plain English is the name of the kitchen.
I liked it. I kind of liked it. I was like, all right, let's do this. When we started on this design process with budget unconscious designer Billy Cotton.
Pause right there. His humor is a massive giveaway about how he views the world. If you just listen again to what he said in that clip, he was just criticizing the designer, budget unconscious designer, right? That is what we would call passive-aggressive behavior. Passive-aggressive behavior, when paired with over-the-top humor, usually shows a coping mechanism of a person who isn't comfortable actually verbalizing their opinions, their beliefs, their thoughts. So now when I consider how he was at the beginning of the clip, how he was at the stage in the kitchen, and now as he walks us through and continues to make these kind of passive-aggressive humorous statements, this makes me feel like this is not an individual who's confident just saying his opinion. Instead, he has to bury it behind humor and passive-aggressive statements.
Oh, so good. All right.
One of the things he had was called layered Italian. That was the design theme, and it was based a little bit on the Godfather movies. The fact of the matter is this particular neighborhood in Brooklyn is an old Italian neighborhood.
And we wanted somewhere to feel like the central kind of engine of the house. When you come in, there's a big table to like dump the shopping on. The kids do the homework around there.
Pause again. I hope that you're seeing it now. The distance between them keeps growing. He's still not looking at her. She's not looking at him. She's still in that closed position. Like he's physically and verbally showing signs of escapism or distancing, as if he sees safety or security in having a gap between him and her.
Interesting. Safety and security with the gap. Okay.
I cook, everyone abandons me.
Pause. I never know what to make of jokes like that are self-deprecating.
Self-deprecating jokes, especially, it's challenging, especially among people who are celebrity, because a celebrity isn't going to show much confidence naturally because they already know that they are viewed as a success story. So they don't feel like they have grounds to complain or criticize or demean, but she's willing to verbalize it to a camera as a joke about abandonment, right? Does she actually feel isolated? Does she actually feel alone? Does she actually feel ignored? Well, that's not something you're gonna tell a camera, but you might say a joke about feeling abandoned. So what we're seeing right now is not the real them.
Yeah.
It's the performative them, which makes it interesting because even through the performance, you're still seeing signs.
Little cracks. Yeah. All right. Let's play.
Really excited you guys came today because I've been baking this sourdough all day. I'm really happy that I'm here to share. Are these edible, the cream puff donuts?
Yeah, I mean, I baked them this morning. I hope they're edible.
I'm totally gonna have one of these. This house was designed for 3 women in my life who I love dearly, but I got several things that were just mine. The coffee station is one. The cool thing about this little coffee station is it has a hot water tap, which has hot water and cold water on command, which is something I've always wanted in a house.
I wasn't sure if it was a snide comment about having 3 women in the house and so I have this tiny little corner, or if it was a really sweet, endearing thing to say, look how much I love them. I don't mind that I only have this tiny thing in the corner.
I don't think it's about the women at all. I think that what we're seeing with him, especially in contrast to her, is a difference in how they interact with the world around them. Multiple times now through this walkthrough, he has called out specific details, right? The molding in the chandelier. He's called out the sourdough that was on the table, this small corner and this hot water tap in the small corner. Meanwhile, what is she talking about? She's talking about the large table. That's not detail-oriented. Light bouncing off the walls. That's not detail-oriented. He's actually comparing the house to movies like The Godfather. So this is telling me that he is very, what we would call tactile. There are different personality traits in all people. One of those personality traits is known as a sensory person. A sensory person is a person who engages with the world with their 5 senses. What they see, what they hear, what they taste, what they smell, what they can touch. That is how he's describing the house. She is describing the house a completely different way. She's driving towards what she interprets, intuits about the house. It's bright, it's large, right? They're looking at the house and describing it in completely different ways, which gives us an insight into how they must view the world, which also gives us insight into what their conflict must be. She lives recognizing that the moment could always be improved for the future. He lives in the moment, most likely constantly disappointed in the moment.
Oh, why do you say constantly disappointed?
Because when you're a sensory person, you're always sensing what's here. And unless what is here meets your specific criteria, then you're disappointed. There's something missing, right? Oh, I love that it's pink, but that's not my favorite shade. I love that you have fur, but why is it so long, right? Like there's all these reasons. When they're sensory oriented, they always find something that's not to their preferences in the moment.
So is it safe to say if you're with somebody that is more sensory driven, that they're more likely to always be disappointed with you and with life?
It's more likely that you will feel like they are disappointed in you. But that's not what they're trying to communicate. We feel like we are being criticized. We feel like we are a disappointment. We feel like we aren't good enough, right? So he's always going to find gaps that she was completely oblivious to. She will then feel naturally criticized by him, and then he's passive aggressive and humorous, so he's not just gonna come out and say, I don't like this tablecloth. He's gonna say some snarky comment about the tablecloth, and she's gonna feel criticized by it, and he's not gonna realize he's doing it to her, and you can just start to see that this is going to spiral.
Wow.
Spiral rapidly and out of control.
Ooh. All right, let's play and see the spiral. All right, guys, we'll be right back with a CIA spy. But real quick, if you're done playing small, if you're done being pushed around and you're ready to build your unshakable confidence in every single area of your life, then smash the subscribe button right now, because every episode of Women of Impact is here to help you build your confidence, own your worth, set boundaries, and make sure that you never lose your voice or your power again. So go ahead, smash the subscribe button. Now, back to the episode.
This is great, this completely non-functional
Oh, wait,
lamp.
no. I want to talk about this. I want to talk.
Stop. I don't even know what they're going to say, but you just saw a perfect example of it. She's making a joke about this non-functional thing. That is a very intuitive thing. Like, why do we even have this stupid thing in the corner? And he's about to defend it.
Let's play and then I'll ask the follow-up question.
We came in here when we were building this thing, and we saw this, and I freaked out. And I was like, what is this doing here? It's so stupid. We do not want this thing here. I will say there's a genius to it, because when you, at night,
When all the other lights
you
are
turn
off.
out all the lights and you just leave that light on.
It gives a little street lamp effect, you know?
But there's something quite magical and beautiful about
Romantic.
it.
Like, pause it. Out of curiosity, then, how do you know the difference when that becomes like a bad dynamic versus just a funny dynamic? Because I'm going to be honest, I do that sometimes to my husband. Like, there's something that he likes that I just think is pathetic. I love him more than life itself. Doesn't mean that I have toxicity towards my husband or passive aggressiveness. It's just this one little thing that we keep joking and arguing about, that when someone mentions it, I find a reason like, aha, now I've got someone that's on my side.
And that's the difference between an isolated incident and a pattern of behavior, right? Here you're isolating a specific thing and you poke fun at the specific thing. You don't also show passive aggressiveness towards the thing. You don't also criticize the thing. You don't also harp on it when nobody's around, right? There's a difference between multiple compressive behaviors, meaning as they stack up, they create pressure that is damaging and hurtful, versus something that's just an inside joke. Right?
Oh, that's such a good explanation, because when I saw that, again, going back to when I first watched this video, I didn't think there was anything wrong. That's why I wanted to have you on and really do this, is notice the difference where we may perceive something as being healthy, but actually it's not. All right, let's keep playing and watching this.
This is the garden room. We have this double-sided sofa, which means David and I can argue and sort of be...
Pause. She's talking about something parallel to what she's really feeling. Maybe this is even a moment of truth, because you can see in her face that she's not laughing like he's laughing. Mm-hmm. So that is very likely a place where they do have moments of tension, not enjoyable tension either. They're debating, they're arguing, they're fighting. She's indicating it here like she was when she was in the kitchen talking about feeling abandoned.
And going back to your pattern thing, this I think is the second time that she has made a comment about how she's felt.
I cook, everyone abandons me. I have this double-sided sofa, which means David and I can argue and...
Do you think of this as being potentially one of her moments where she's vocalizing to him how she's feeling? Like as a subtle way of saying, maybe you don't realize, but I feel ignored. We argue in this space.
I wonder, I don't think she's talking to him at all.
Oh.
I think in this entire clip that we've seen so far, she hasn't spoken to him once. She's speaking to the camera. Her plea is indirect, hoping that maybe he'll listen. Here's the other thing that's so fascinating. We've been watching this for a few minutes now. How many minutes would you last in your own home before you touched your spouse?
Oh, gee, I mean, 3 seconds.
We haven't seen them even touch each other yet. They haven't, he hasn't put his hand on her back, her shoulder, her arm, her elbow. There for sure has not been a kiss or a hug or anything like that. From the moment they opened the door, even to where we are right now, not a single physical touch. And could that be the post-edit? Possibly. But it's most likely because they're not more than 2 feet close to each other at any given time that we've seen yet.
All right, so if you didn't know that they got divorced and she released an album saying all the horrific stuff about their relationship, and you just watched up to this point in this video, where would you say on a scale of 1 to 10, you would think that they would have a successful relationship versus inevitably separate?
I mean, if I was watching this and just thinking about, is this couple gonna last? I would put this at like a 4 out of 10 that it's gonna last. Less than 50% that this is gonna work.
All right.
This is not a unified front. This is not a loving couple. This is not an intimate, shared experience like you would expect from a very healthy marriage.
All right, let's press play.
The kitchen was really all me, but David really let himself go in this
No,
room.
when I say that, I just had like coffee stations. I did demand certain things on this floor, just sort of like a couple of necessary items. And I said, I need swan taps. And I also wanted a fridge from outer space. And I got everything I wanted. In pink, no less. When I lived in apartments in New York City, I just had bathrooms. And there was a toilet and a shower and a sink and a toothbrush. And now I have a room where you can take a bath, or you can like sit, or you can brush your teeth and do whatever you want in this room.
Pause. You're seeing his sensory inputs all over the place right now. You're also seeing that there's something in him that feels trapped. There's something about him that feels like he is not in control.
What indicates that?
Well, he was talking about his bathroom when he was in New York, and it was just a toilet and a toilet paper roll, right? And now he was like, I have a whole room to take a bath. He also specifically said, I can do anything I want in this room. And he picked the wallpaper. She specifically said as they walked in here, she had control over the kitchen. He did everything on this floor. So everything we're looking at right now is him. The wallpaper, the carpeting, the flowers, the chairs, the textures, where things are placed. Again, it's not a negative thing. It just really goes to show how different the two of them are. Still with distance between them, still she's got her hands closed and her legs crossed, sitting on the corner, as she couldn't sit further away from him than where she is right now.
And did he say demand? Can you quickly
Yes, he
rewind?
did say demand.
I did demand certain things on this floor.
Because that hit me, because look, I think everyone should have non-negotiables in a relationship. Absolutely. When Tom and I bought our house, we have non-negotiables. This is what I care about. This is what he cares about. But I would never use the word demand. I demand this in my house. I'd say, this is really important to me.
I'm less concerned about the specific words that he's using at this point and more about the patterns of words that he's using. Demand was the most forceful of words that he's used. However, the primary sign that I'm seeing repeated here is that these two people do not live in the same world. They live in two different worlds. Even in their own home, they live in two different worlds. They live in two different floors, at least. But just when you see the space between them, when you see their body language between them, when you see the humor between them, you just continue to not see two people who are connected the way that you would expect a healthy married couple to be connected.
All right, let's press play.
This is our bedroom. It's kind of cool because there's no windows in this section, right? So there are windows in the bathroom, and then there are windows in the closet.
David likes to sleep in the mornings,
It's true.
and he doesn't like natural light because he's also a vampire.
True.
So we can close these doors, and he can sit in here and sleep or watch television till 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes! You make the bedroom just a place for couple activities. Not, and so you just make it very,
What was that little shake of her head? Did you see that?
I would go back and play this
'cause
again.
I don't-
And what you do is you make the bedroom just a place for couple activities. Not, and so you just make it very, like a cocoon almost.
Did you see that micro expression? What was that?
Yeah, I think that's a very good catch. You could see that she was taken aback by that statement. Her eyes widened. She leaned her head back. You could see the shake in her head. There was something about him talking about couple activities that was not expected on her behalf. She either didn't agree with it, didn't expect it, didn't like it, felt uncomfortable, and then immediately kind of squashed it. You could see her recapturing her demeanor.
And then there was that one moment where she's playing with the door, because I can never tell the difference between them being cute and teasing each other and this being like, oh my God, yeah, he sleeps in, can you believe it? And he's like, yeah, I love it. That can be perceived as very natural interaction.
If you really look at her, what you'll see is she'll consistently look down and to the right during this section. She is showing disapproval. She does not like this about him. She does not like this about their relationship. Why? You can see that she won't make straight contact with the camera. She will look away, down and to the left, down and to the right, multiple times as she makes this criticism. And you can see how little eye contact she makes with the camera or with him. And she's explaining what she doesn't like, but she's self-conscious about it.
And his yes, it's almost like, again, a way of you can be defensive or you can laugh it off.
Honestly, I honestly think he feels seen in this moment. I think he feels recognized in this moment. He has zero concept of the fact that she is unhappy about it.
Oh my God, that's so good. Oh God. All right, let's play.
This is like my favorite look in the house. It's so different from like other stuff. This is like something out of like The Sopranos or something. It's so great.
Pause. He just referenced The Sopranos. Do you remember what reference he made in the
The
kitchen?
Godfather.
So he is showing that top of mind for him are these heavily masculine, powerful male figures
You're right.
in entertainment. Like that is what is top of mind for him. So how much else does he look at in the world where the thing that jumps to the top of his mind is a strong male figure, hyper-organization, like large hierarchies where somebody's at the top of that, right? That's what he's talking about. We still see her arms crossed. We still see the closed off behavior. This is starting to make me feel very confident that this is what their life looks like day to day.
All right, let's press play.
Should we take them outside?
Yeah, I'm down. You guys want to get in the sauna? Come on, let's go.
How many references to himself did he make in that segment?
The whole thing.
Right, the whole thing.
Really a nice little space out here for me. But I got really into sauna and cold plunge.
He's out there alone. We don't even see her or hear her voice out there, but she's the one that recommended they go out there. It's just very interesting to me because there is this element where she is making what's known as bids to empower him, right? You got everything you wanted in this bathroom, babe, right? They really delivered for you. Do you want to take them outside? Like she's bidding these things to basically give him moments where he gets to celebrate himself, right? Why? Why is that happening? Why is that behavior there? We don't know why yet, but I am seeing the pattern that is a part of what's happening.
Well, I'll tell you why, Mr. Andrew Bustamante. Coming up.
So here you see him asking the question, and then as soon as the question is asked, you see her look to the right. That means she's not accessing the factual part of her mind. She's accessing the creative part of her mind.
Exciting news, guys, because Paleo Valley is having the biggest sale ever for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And I'm telling you right now, so you don't sleep on it. Because this time of year, let's face it, you're eating heavy meals, you're running around non-stop. That's why you need to go and stock up right now on paleo beef sticks. Guys, I'm absolutely obsessed. Right before we started filming this, I actually threw 10 of these in my hubby's bag because they're so good when you're traveling, if you need them on the go. They're made with 100% grass-fed, grass-finished beef, naturally fermented for gut health, and packed with protein that actually fills you up. They taste absolutely amazing, and they make taking care of yourself really easy, especially when life is just feeling utterly chaotic. So for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you can go and get up to 35% off all Paleo Valley products, including these beef sticks, and you'll get a free gift with your purchase. Trust me, you're going to want to click the link below and grab these right now. Your energy, your digestion, and your sanity will thank you. I'm telling you, they will thank you. So now I want to read you some lyrics from her song where she actually reveals the truth behind the house. So she says, "So we went ahead and we bought it, found ourselves a good mortgage. I could never afford this. You were pushing it forward, made me feel a little awkward." So that is such a clear breakdown of how she didn't want the house, that she was really uncomfortable, but that she did it for him to make him happy. And her uncomfortableness was probably a reflection where she's like, we can't afford this shit.
Yeah, I didn't want this. Now here we are with a camera in our house documenting this thing that I didn't want. All I got was a kitchen. You got a second floor and a backyard and a plunge and a TV room.
Yeah. So now I actually want to show you a clip where he's talking about the first time he met her, and I want you to break down what you see, if there's any signs of narcissism, manipulation, or just genuine love. Play the clip.
She claims to have fallen in love with me at first sight.
Sorry, I'm smashing that button. One of the first things out of his mouth is what she thought of him. So that feels quite narcissistic, if I'm going to be honest. It wasn't like I saw her and she would look stunning. Like, you want to hear me tell the story of when I first met my husband? It's the fact that I couldn't stop staring at him because I thought he was so gorgeous. It isn't, he thought I was amazing.
You're not wrong, but because we have so much more information here, I interpret it a little bit different. So you cannot watch this without observing his posture. His posture is obscenely laid back. Unnaturally laid back. He also used that same humor that we saw in the house.
We have two stories, the true story, and then we have the story that we tell people.
That passive-aggressive humor, when he was saying, we have the story that's the truth and the story that we tell people when we want to impress them.
Why do you think?
That's what I don't know. I don't know whether it's because he is a person who feels like he's trapped in some kind of world that he can't control. Because remember, this is the same person who clearly shows these signs of discomfort that are masked behind this coping mechanism that is his humor. So I don't get a narcissistic conclusion from him. What I get from him is a broken little man. Like, I kind of get a self-conscious, emasculated, traumatized little boy kind of feeling from him. But he's been thrust into the limelight because of his creative talents as an actor. He thinks the world is a stage. He doesn't realize that it's the real world.
Interesting. I'm going to push back a little. It feels like it could be potentially vulnerable narcissist behavior versus a grandiose narcissist.
Fair. And what's really interesting about your point is when you start subdividing the types of narcissism, you have to start asking the question, why are they talking about themselves? Are they talking about themselves because they believe they are the center of the universe, which is narcissistic? Or are they talking about themselves because they are trying to find a way to take the focus off of themselves? He doesn't bring attention to himself to glorify himself. He brings attention to himself to focus you on this thing that he values. Here's my swan tap. Here's the door to my sauna. Here's the story about how we met, right? Is that the behavior of somebody who is self-conscious, or is that the behavior of somebody who is in fact a narcissist? That's so difficult to pinpoint in these clips that we've seen so far.
All right, let's keep going then.
She said, when I saw you, I saw the biggest person I'd ever seen in my life, and also the smallest person I'd ever seen in my life.
Pause. I've got to pause that. I think this really goes to show how empathetic she is. If that's a true story, and if she made that assessment on a first date, she must see in him the little wounded person that you and I were just talking about. She must be able to see it. And that would help explain why at the house, she was like, why don't you tell them the story about this? And look at how good they did in your bathroom. And why don't you take them out into the backyard? She's trying to build him up because she knows that in his own perspective, he's just a little man, a little wounded child, a little broken person.
All right, so now you've seen him talking about how they first met. As they are married, further on in their relationship, she actually then gets a call to do a role in a play in London. And so she gives lyrics in her song about this very thing. She says, later that evening, you said, how was my day? I said, I got some good news. I got the lead in the play. That's when your demeanor started to change. You said that I'd have an audition. I said, you're deranged. And I thought that was quite strange. So she's been nominated for this role in a play. She moves to England, and this is her on the red carpet with her husband talking about this role. And I mean, it breaks my heart, but let's just play the clip.
Well, it's the first time. Sorry. It's the first time that I've been here because it's not my usual industry or crowd. But yeah, I'm just really, really, really honoured and happy and humbled to be here, and to be nominated is just like beyond. Yeah, I don't know what's happening really, but I couldn't be happier.
Oh, is it your first time as well, David?
Yeah.
My first time what?
At the Olympics.
Or first time around me? No. What did you?
She said, is it your first time here
But the Olympics is. I've done about 100,000 plays, never been recognized. Congratulations, darling.
Oh.
There's a lot ugly about that.
Break it down. If people don't already feel the ugliness.
You can see how she's uncomfortable with the line of questioning.
Yeah.
You can also see that they're both on their back foot. They don't even know how to respond to the questions. I get the sense that there's either an accent or it's so noisy there that they're both also having a hard time hearing the interviewer. And then for him, because he doesn't know what the hell's going on, he's not at all even engaged in the line of questioning to her. She's receiving some kind of nomination for a significant award, and he's completely disconnected for whatever reason. You can see how self-conscious he feels as he's looking around. When he gets asked a question, he asks for clarification, And then the only thing that can come to his mind is how many times he's been on stage and hasn't won anything, and then that leads to this very insincere compliment at the end, or seemingly insincere compliment, because of the situation.
If you're truly in love with your partner and you truly want your partner to do well and you want good things to happen to them, you don't reply with that comment.
Correct.
You don't make it about you. You be like, oh my God, yes, how excited am I that my wife, even if you can't hit, even if there's chaos. So there is a thing where it's like, yes, I understand that it might be hard to hear and there's dynamics that we can't quite see from the clip. But just from that one line, to me at least, it says everything about how he sees her now as competition, not as his partner. The reason why I wanted to bring this specific clip up is the amount of women that will dim their light to make sure they don't shine too bright next to their partner is unfortunately heartbreaking. And I want to make sure that I always address what tools we can learn as women to use so that we don't get trapped, we don't get manipulated, and we don't dim our light. And this was one of those moments where I felt like it was a screeching halt, because the second your partner can't be proud of you, be your cheerleader, I don't give a shit if you just had a raging row right before. If your partner can't be happy for you, fucking that's a red flag and you've got to pay attention. And when you have an opportunity to either lift someone up or push them down, what do you choose? And it felt like he basically chose to A, making it all about himself, and B, use it as a way to ding her instead of be proud of her.
Your assessment is a sound interpretation. There is, unfortunately, a second interpretation that we don't know yet. Was his entire comment about himself a passive-aggressive way of complimenting her? I have been on 100,000 stages or something like that, whatever he said. I've done this 100,000 times and never once been recognized. Is that actually just a way of him saying, that's how special she is? I've done this 100,000 times and she's getting recognized right now and she doesn't even know what she's doing. Like, she said it herself just a few seconds before. She's like, I don't really know what I'm doing here and I don't even know what this is and I've never done anything like this before. So yes, he could be a narcissist. He could be any number of things, but he also just shows the signs of being kind of a thick-headed, sheltered, and almost more paranoid than narcissistic.
Oh, interesting.
Both of which are unhealthy, both of which lead to damaging relationships, neither of which really shows connection, but it's hard to reach a conclusion about what's driving him because he just keeps kind of tripping on his dick in comments like this.
All right, that's amazing. I want people now listening, you guys at home, I want you to drop in the comments, which one do you think he is in this moment? All right, so now I actually want to move on. So she gets this role, right? She's been in a play in London, she gets nominated. I want to show you something that was, as a woman, if I received this from my husband, I would have been mortified, but maybe he was joking, maybe he was being sweet. Show the note and I'll read it out loud because I want you to tell us what you think. Is this a subtle art of manipulation where he's trying to take her down a notch, if you will? Or is this a guy who's just joking and playing a joke with his wife? It says, it's handwritten letter, my ambitious wife. These are bad luck flowers because if you get reviewed well in this play, you will get all kinds of awards and I will be miserable. Your loving husband.
This is another one of those situations where if you take that literally, it looks horrible. But when you take that in sum with everything else that we've seen in the last few videos and what we've assessed in this guy, this is showing a very dry, kind of dark sense of humor, which as a Brit, she might appreciate. That could be part of what's going on here. Here's why I say that. He very clearly took the time to write a letter. He very clearly put the time and the effort into calling her ambitious and calling himself loving. This is not scribbled in anger. This is very measured writing from end to end. It's justified, it's clear, it's legible. This does not show the signs of somebody who is highly emotional in the writing of the letter. Again, this strikes me as a person who is so easy to misinterpret from the outside, but she is probably the most accurate person in being able to interpret him as the largest man ever, but also the smallest man ever.
That's interesting. The thing though that I want to make sure that we talk about is manipulation happens slowly. it doesn't just happen overnight, right? You talk about in the past when we've done other interviews about, spotting your target and the strategies that you do in order to hook them and manipulate them and seduce them and all of these things. So everything happens slowly. For a woman, I'm just going to be honest and only speak for myself, that if I had a husband that was, I'm just joking, babe, and they sent me this letter, you go, well, he keeps saying he's joking, but there's a little moment where you're like, but maybe it's true. And the maybe it's true then leads to a woman dimming their light. And over time, it just a couple of these now and again. It's not all smack in your face like, I don't want you to win. She would leave him. It's these things, these little things that to me are big raging red flags that say, what the fuck are you doing? Who are you with? Who is that man? Get out.
I agree with that assessment.
In her album that she just released, a lot of this comes out of what all of this actually means. So as we were talking about the chipping away of a person, she actually talks about, he had said that now she's living in London, he actually wants an open relationship. And so I think is a result of the chipping away at her over and over again that we've just seen throughout this whole thing, where she's like, fine.
The piece that we're not talking about is that Lily has a very speckled past of her own, where she has openly admitted to hiring professional sex workers for herself.
Oh God, I didn't, for herself.
She has a very spotted personal record of her own. So it really goes to show that she isn't your typical female. You don't get to be that level of celebrity in Britain and be your typical person. So she's had all sorts of challenges herself, rising to the level that she's risen, having the success that she's had, not only as a female, but as a pop star, as a stage actor. This is a woman who can handle herself and can stand on her own 2 feet. That is not saying that she's bulletproof, but what I'm saying is when I think about her pairing up with somebody who is overtly manipulative, I think she'd eat them up. I think she'd grind them down and cut them in half and chop them up and move on with her life, right? Like she's can stand on her own feet. That's when you take that in context with what you're seeing in this relationship, it really, again, I get the impression she's the lioness. She just has to decide whether this limping lion is worth her fucking time. And every time he kind of has a misstep, like at the red carpet, for her, she's like, this is stupid. And whenever they do a house tour and he doesn't show affection and he's work, I get the impression that he's work for her. She's already got a full-time job. Why does he want an open relationship when she's living in London and he's filming in the United States? Probably because he feels lonely. And guess what? She doesn't have fucking time for that. She's like, I'm a professional. You're supposed to be a professional. This is what the job looks like, buddy. You should have known that. So if you want an open relationship, if you think that's gonna make you happy, I already know it won't. But whatever, you do your thing. And we're only hearing one side of it through her album. He's not out there talking about it, probably because he's too afraid, or he's too self-conscious, or he's too cowardly to talk about it himself. Those are feelings, and men don't talk about feelings, especially not men who have probably been through some kind of diminishing experience as a child that lead you to become a professional supporting actor, which is really what he is, right?
Wow. All right. I didn't pick up on any of that. I have the opposite of this has been slow manipulation, like I've said.
This is my problem. This is my biggest problem, right? Weak women are made. Weak women are made by bad men. Strong women can be turned into weak women because of bad fucking men, right? And culturally, that's an issue. Culturally, we are not equipping our women to feel confident enough to stand on their own 2 feet. We're not giving them the courage and the competence and the words, the vocabulary to say, that man is not worth my time. Instead, we make them feel like they have to be nurturing and they have to be patient and they have to be supportive. And even superstars can't shake that feeling like they have to fix another person, because that's really what they see in the weak man, is a weak person. Mm-hmm. But we teach our men all the time that they can just disregard women. And that is a double standard. And that is my big kind of challenge here, especially with this case, is that this is a woman who can change the world, and she is dragging around an anchor. And she must know that, but she's clearly, it took her years to figure out how to cut it free. And it hurt her so much that she made an album. She manifested it in her art to help her heal.
As a woman, I'm like, fuck yes. Like, again, if the way that I painted this whole picture is she falls in love with this guy, he seems very genuine. Yes, he's got wounds. She loves the wounds. As they get more and more, he wants this expensive house. She's really uncomfortable. She can't afford the mortgage, but fine, my husband wants it. So they buy the house. She gets this job in England that she's so excited of. He's now triggered. Fine, I won't shine too much so that he doesn't get triggered. He actually now wants sex. So he wants an open relationship. Fine, okay, I'll have the open relationship because I'm not there. Like, there's all these moments of justification of dimming, and then coming out and being like, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. That feels like assuming she comes from a good place. I don't know if she's nefarious. I don't know if she's a raging narcissist and this is her comeback. Like, I don't know that. But as a woman, if someone's done that to you and you come out strong and you put out as like, I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to be shamed by this. This is what happened. Fuck yes. So then the last part I actually want to add to this whole thing now is she says yes to this open relationship, which again, no judgment. If they both decide that they want an open relationship, go ham, good for you. They put rules and regulations in, and some of them were be discreet. It can't be someone I know. And then she releases another song called Pussy Palace. And the lyrics go, don't come home, I don't want you in my bed. Go to the apartment in the West Village instead. I'll drop you off your clothes, your mail and medication. I didn't know it was your pussy palace, pussy palace, pussy palace. I always thought it was a dojo. So am I looking at a sex addict? Talk about a low blow. Oh no, I found a shoebox full of handwritten letters from broken-hearted women wishing you could have been better. Sheets pulled off the bed, strewn on all the floor, long black hair, probably from the night before. Douane reed bag with a handle tied, sex toys, butt plugs, lube inside. Hundreds of Trojans, you're so fucking broken. How'd I get caught up in your double life?
It's powerful. It's, I really want to be cautious that people don't think I'm trying to defend him, because I'm not. But what I see are the signs of a flawed person. I see the signs of a person. We always talk about women who have daddy issues. That's like a very accessible joke.
Yeah, right.
What about men who have mommy issues? And I would be willing to bet that this is a person who is trying to define himself personally with physical affection. And there's an element of this where it's not enough for him, because unless he is being pampered, touched, pet, made love to, butt plugged, who knows what, unless there's some sensory element, he's not really fully satisfied. Again, it's no excuse, but it's a way of trying to understand where he's coming from or what is driving the behaviors that we're seeing in him. It doesn't necessarily mean he's manipulative. It doesn't necessarily mean he's narcissistic. There's lots of reasons that men are shitty that don't all boil down to them intentionally being calculatedly shitty. And this could just be a flawed individual. Even worse, that he's a celebrity of any elevation, because it's very easy for him, very accessible for him to get other women. So having a pussy palace is much easier for him than for the average person, but without a doubt, that's not what he's looking for in and of itself. That's an itch that's getting scratched, and what he really wants is something larger that he knows he can get with her, but for whatever reason, he's not confident enough to just walk up and touch her back in their own house.
Oh, yeah. That was why when you mentioned right at the beginning that he was a sensory guy, that's why I was like, oh, just you wait, because if your wife is literally letting you sleep with other women, she says okay, and you still go and fuck that shit up, like you still manage to break her heart, break the rules, and betray her, there's more going on than just, I felt like I needed sex.
His moral wind vein, right? She doesn't know what's right or wrong.
Yeah. Coming up.
With the face in the downward position, she's looking so far down, it looks like her eyes are closed, right? Like she is shrinking herself as much as she can in this moment because she feels the spotlight of, what are you gonna say right now?
What up, my homies? Let's be honest for just 1 second. Sticking to a routine is one of the hardest parts of staying healthy, especially when it's freezing outside, it's dark, and everything in you wants to scream that you actually just start again in January. But here's the truth. You don't actually need to wait for the new year. You just need a reason to want to show up. And that's where Avoidance comes in. This isn't just another rower, it's a freaking game changer. It's built on actual game psychology. Avoidance makes working out something that you actually look forward to. From immersive scenic rows and guided classes to full-on interactive games and even Netflix while you move. It's designed to keep your body moving and your mind totally engaged. And if rowing just isn't your thing, Avoidance also has a gamified treadmill and an award-winning bike that are epic. So this season, give yourself a beautiful gift that lasts longer than just a box of chocolates. Avoidance is offering their best price of the year right now. So click the link below and use my code for an additional discount off any Avoidance product. Your future self will thank you.
Okay, so it doesn't end there, Andrew. Sadly doesn't end there. So in all of this, like, look, I saw him on Stranger Things. I thought he was great. It broke my heart when I started hearing this story. As I start going deeper and deeper after she's filed for divorce, after all of this has happened, then, oh God, Millie Bobby Brown, who's his co-star in Stranger Things, she's the one that plays 11. She actually, just to give some context, so it was widely reported that Brown had filed a formal complaint against her co-star David Harbour before filming the 5th season of Stranger Things. The document allegedly contained multiple pages of accusations about harassment and bullying. Representatives, however, for the show have since pushed back, describing it as wildly inaccurate. Neither of them nor Netflix have addressed it publicly, but it's been confirmed by news sites like Daily Mail, Variety, and The Cut. The truth is that we don't know for sure, but that's what we're going to look into now. So imagine, these allegations have now hit the news. Everyone's talking about them. No one's confirming them or denying them. Millie Bobby Brown goes on the red carpet and she's asked about him. So again, I don't know. I would just love you to help figure out what she's feeling and what signs we can maybe spot.
Okay.
So let's play the video.
Obviously, seeing you and David on this carpet together, but talk to me about how special that connection is and really all these relationships you have formed in your formative years.
Yeah. It's been so special to have him along the journey for me. Winona, the kids, we have a father-daughter relationship, and we do every scene together.
Yeah.
And you'll really get to see that, in season 5.
Stop there. She's trying to find a different focal point for her answer, and you can see that very early on. So if you rewind the video, so here you see him asking the question, and then as soon as the question is asked, you see her look to the right. That means she's not accessing the factual part of her mind. She's accessing the creative part of her mind. So
for people who don't understand that, quickly explain what that means.
Yeah, the left and right brain have two different functions, right? The left logical brain and the right creative brain. So when you see somebody visually move to the left with their eyes after a question, it means they're trying to access, just like you would be reading a book, they're trying to access factual data. When they look to the right away, they're trying to access creative data. So here, not only do you see her look to the right, you see her move her entire head to the right. She knows, don't tell the truth right now, tell something else. So then what she gathers over there is a quick answer, and then now you see her looking down, closing her eyes, changing the subject to talk about the kids in the show and the other people in the show. Then she has to come back again to say, oh, I have this special relationship with him. It's a father-daughter relationship. We do every scene together. She's just giving facts.
Oh, yeah, so true.
She's not giving an answer. She's just restating facts that anybody gets from watching the show. So she's fully avoiding the question, once again ending by looking to the right, accessing that creative side of her brain. She is working very hard to keep a smile on her face, give a publicly acceptable question, media trained, without actually telling you how she feels about David.
Oh, that was so good. Also, right at the beginning, can we just play back that one line that she says? Because she stumbles quite a bit, and so my kind of heart bleeds for her a little. All right, so let's just hear that stutter a bit.
It's been so special to have him along the journey for me.
Aww. That's just her trying to find the right words.
Right, she's looking for, how do I describe this in a way that isn't going to backfire, isn't going to blow up, is accurate but not fully accurate, because he also feels guilty lying on camera, and that's what you're seeing with that, not just with the stumbling, but with the face in the downward position, she's looking so far down, it looks like her eyes are closed, right? Like she is shrinking herself as much as she can in this moment because she feels the spotlight of, what are you going to say right now?
Yeah, all right. So again, not much has been revealed on this case because the show's just coming out. Obviously, Netflix is going to protect them, so I understand all of that. And so right in the same red carpet, you actually see them together. So this is fascinating. I'd love for you to watch this clip and let us know, out of, let's say, if you had to put a vote in on, yes, the allegations, she really did say the allegations, or no. I understand it's going to be small context, but let me know what you think about this. Play the video. All right, so as it's going, please explain, like, if you see anything. They seem very comfortable.
She seems very comfortable. What you see from him is he's got a hand in his pocket, and you can actually see from the very beginning, he has a different smile than he has now. This is a genuine smile. That's not a genuine smile. You see that? So, and she's doing the same thing. You can see that there's a difference between their sincerity. And then, right at the end, as soon as he breaks contact with her, he pulls his hand and puts it back in his pocket. So he is very clearly uncomfortable around her.
Oh.
And she is either more comfortable pretending that nothing happened, or he understands that he is not the one in control in this relationship, very similar to what we saw in the house with Lily.
So the same signs are showing of insecurity, not being comfortable.
In himself.
Interesting. She does seem very confident though. And the funny thing is, look, because they're actors, sometimes you just don't know because you're like, you're a freaking great actress. But like, it seems like she's very comfortable with him. And so if I was just to watch this and you were like, hey, there were rumors, I'd be like, no, look at them, they look great together.
Yeah, if I were to look at this, I would say there is something between them. There is something that does not make them friends. Otherwise, like his hands in his pockets are really the big giveaway. His hands in his pockets plus his facial expressions and how much they change from being genuine to being inauthentic.
Well, can we play that? Can you show us?
From beginning to end, you'll see authentic versus inauthentic, right? So that's inauthentic. He's just making, that's authentic. And then that's all authentic behavior, and then he reels it back in. He's like, oh, wait a second, nope. Let me get back to, I'm an actor, and there's something going on. And she says whatever she says, and he's like, I'm gonna do what you say, put my hand in my pocket, and follow you off stage.
What was interesting is definitely looked like she was one that was like letting go, like that, the let go, and I don't know why, maybe you can explain what I'm picking up on. If I was a great actress, and it's like, this guy was inappropriate, but look, you either want the show to do well or you don't. This show tanks, or this can make your career or break your career. We're gonna take care of it. He's not gonna, be inappropriate again, but you're gonna have to be with him on the red carpet. And it's up to you how you wanna respond. Okay, so let me say I'm now on the red carpet and I'm telling myself, just pretend not everything's all right, everything's all right. I'm now on the red carpet. I'm gonna deliberately laugh over the top. Like, I'm going to fake it even more. And then the second I can, I'm gonna get away from him. I don't know if I was reading too much into it, but the let go, the way she kind of just let go and walked away was almost like, okay, I'm done, let me leave.
I agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree that that's what you see here. Also, you can see how they are laughing at whatever is being said. They're over the top in their expressiveness, but still very rigid in their posture, right? From beginning to end, they don't really change from this posture. They have these moments of authenticity that they quickly bury again under some sort of controlled demeanor. And then when they break up, she chooses the when, she chooses how far to step away, and as soon as she breaks contact, he closes his body language. It's not like he takes his hands out and he's like, oh yeah, let's go on the way, or he invites her to lead the way. None of those things happen. Instead, it's very much like, just like you said, before they stood on this carpet, they both got briefed by their agents, make sure you don't make a scene out there. Like, I just need you to get along for 5 seconds.
Yeah, can we actually show that, her stepping back again towards the end, please? Yeah.
Yeah. Irregardless of whether allegations were made or not, it's very clear here that his behavior with her is consistent with his behavior that we saw with Lily. This does not strike me as a confident, engaging man who sees himself as an equal with the world around him. It seems like this is a person who is dealing with imposter syndrome, recognizes that they have some sort of personal issue, and just doesn't want it to be seen. And oblivious to the fact that just doing that when someone says yes doesn't necessarily mean they're happy to say yes. Just because he was given permission to be in an open relationship doesn't mean she was happy about him being in open relationships. He's kind of oblivious to the fact that his behaviors have an impact on the world around him.
All right, CIA spy, tell me now, lying, manipulative, controlling narcissist, wounded, insecure man, or an innocent man that's just been targeted?
Definitely not an innocent man who's been targeted. Absolutely not that. When you look at all the signs taken together, the interview in the house, what happened on the red carpet, the letter that he left behind, and then him on the red carpet again with Millie Bobby Brown, you can't help but reach the same conclusion. The things that he can't control, his body language, the way he responds, his word choice, this is giving me the signs that he's more of just a wounded, insecure man, not a man that is worthy of the kind of women that are probably dedicating their time and life to him.
Whew. All right, there you have it, guys. That's the conclusion. I want to hear from you. Drop in your comments what you think about it. We're here to really take real life scenarios and dissect them so that we can learn and put them into our own lives. The whole point of Women of Impact, why you shop every day, is so you can build your skill sets in order to implement in your life so that you never lose your power again. So smash that subscribe button down there if you're not following me. And until next time, be the hero of your own life. Make sure you follow this man right here, Andrew Bustamante. Peace.
Thank you so much.
That was great. If you want to spot lies, decode manipulation, and read anyone's body language in any situation, then you're going to want to watch this episode right here.
Kanye is doing something we call crotch display.
Oh.
But the really upsetting part comes in about half a beat. And watch how his face changes as we hit play now.